Hello.
Start.
And Ramula, when you share those ECG X-ray, don't share the diagnosis. Let it be blinded. No, you know the diagnosis. Let it be blinded. I mean, it will be good.
Okay, sir.
Okay, Manjeet, continue. No? Hello.
Manjeet is mute. You have to write.
Mute. Manjeet has to unmute his mic.
Sorry, sir. Sir, here we'll get peaked right atrial P waves appears in lead 2 and right precordial leads, and these P waves can occasionally be tall, and P wave duration in the lead 2 is prolonged. When a large right atrial writes the terminal inscription of the P wave, we will get right axis deviation that can be extreme, and terminal force of the QRS that can be prolonged and slurred. Right ventricular hypertrophy caused by suprasystolic right ventricle systolic pressures, that it is manifested by right R waves in of great amplitude in right and mid precordial leads with upward convexity of the ST segment and deeply inverted T waves together with deep left precordial S waves. The striking ST segment and T wave patterns sometimes extend to the V4, and we'll get small Q waves in lead V1 when precordial electrodes are topographically overlying the large LA. Here, this is the ECG from a 5-month-old cyanotic female with severe pulmonary wall stenosis and right to left shunt across the PFO. Here we are getting tall peaked P wave in the lead 2, lead 3, as well as in the precordial leads, and the signs of right ventricular hypertrophy are there, and there is a right axis deviation. In the another diagram, it is a ECG from 20-year-old male with severe mobile pulmonary stenosis with gradient of 100 millimeter of mercury with right to left shunt through the patent foramen ovale. There the tall P wave appears in the lead 2 and the small Q wave in the right precordial leads, that signifying the right atrial enlargement. The PR interval here is prolonged, and they are the signs of the right ventricular hypertrophy along with the right axis deviation. And they are tall monophasic R wave in the V1 and V2 with the deeply inverted T waves and deep S wave in the mid to left precordial leads.
What is the relevance of Q waves? You said. Can you go to the previous slide? Some relevance of Q waves. No?
So small Q wave in V1.
What does it
if
signify?
L is large, that you have told day before yesterday in ASD, sir, ASD case, as L is large and will get small Q wave in V1.
This is in terms of ASD.
Sorry, sir?
In terms of ASD, you're talking. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Suppose there is a RSR dash pattern in oh you have written last time. मैं तो ऐसे ही पूछ रहा था. अगर ASD होगा तो क्या चेंज आ जाएगा? ASD विदाउट PS में क्या चेंज होगा और ASD विद PS में ECG में क्या चेंज होगा? टिपिकल एग्जाम ना, एग्जाम में विद ASD और विदाउट ASD डिस्कशन चलेगा. So we have discussed clinical science, no? So in the end, you have to tell me what features on ECG will tell you that there is a significant PS in this ASD, and there is no significant PS in this ASD. You summarize, you complete your ASD, ECG, and then discuss.
Okay, sir. In non-restrictive ASD with left to right shunt with mild to moderate pulmonary stenosis, we'll get the combo of isolated ostium secundum type of ASD and right ventricle hypertrophy of PS. P wave can be peaked or moderately tall. QR axis can be rightward or vertical. Terminal force of prolongation widens the R wave in lead AVR and widens the S wave in lead 1 AVL and V6. RS is in lead V1 is characterized by relatively small S wave and relatively tall R prime. This is the difference, R prime compared to ASD without PS.
What does this mean?
In case of
Why is it happening?
This is because of RV hypertrophy, sir.
Oh, what happens with RV hypertrophy and what happens with RV volume overload? That is the difference, no? You have to differentiate. ASD is RV volume overload condition. PS is a RV hypertrophy condition.
Hypertrophy.
So what happens with hypertrophy in ECG and what happens with volume overload in the ECG? This is the question.
Okay.
अच्छा, do one thing. ये ECG है ना, इसके नीचे इसको cover कर दो. Can you cover this ECG with a Can you read it without?
Cover.
You don't read it, na? अपने आप ही पढ़ो. Honestly, you just read the ECG and you interpret the difference.
ECG. In this 16.14, what is the read the ECG?
Sir, normal sinus rhythm with peak P wave.
What is the axis?
Right axis, sir. Right axis deviation. It is almost.
पढ़ो ना, जैसे नॉर्मल पढ़ते हैं. P prominent है कि नहीं, PR interval क्या है, QRS duration क्या है. It will automatically
ECG axis is around 150 degree. ऐसे बोलो ना.
हाँ sir, axis around 150. PR interval is normal. QRS is widened. Right axis हो गया और right ventricular hypertrophies as is R wave in V1 and S in V6.
R wave in V1. What is the hypertrophy? What do you think?
What is the criteria of RVH?
More than 20 millimeter of mercury, sir. Sorry, millimeter. More than 20 mm in R wave in V1, sir. Your R.
So है significant hypertrophy कि नहीं है? अच्छा, by your ECG, is it a predominantly ASD or is it predominantly a PS? जल्दी बोलो, अभी तो तुमने पढ़ा है. Is it predominantly ASD or is it predominantly a PS?
ये हमने डिस्कस किया था ना उस दिन ECG में. What is strain pattern? What is RVH?
So
what is pressure?
P wave dilatation, atrial dilatation is not that significant. Then what happens? The QRS, RSR, V1 में क्या हो रहा है? S wave is much smaller, R wave is much taller, no?
हाँ sir, RSR.
RSR dilatation है, but R wave is much more taller. There are no there is yes T wave inversion. no significant ST changes. There no significant change. So PV is not hypertrophy. ST changes is not there. R, you are not getting a pure R wave. You are getting a RSR dash pattern with R is taller than the S. So there is a significant volume overload rather than a pressure overload in put 1-4. Okay. What about 1-5?
1-5 में sir RSR में S is R prime
P
is
wave
not
हमेशा
that
P,
much similar. Pressure overload के sign.
PX is atrial dilatation भी तो PS में ज्यादा significant होता है ना. PX is PR prolongation ASD में ज्यादा होता है. PR prolongation QRS में R prime ज्यादा prominent ASD में होता है. Pure R wave ज्यादा PS में होती है. ST changes और T wave inversion hypertrophy और PS में होती हैं. This is what you have to see.
इसमें more of pressure overload के sign है sir. PS ज्यादा है इसमें.
जब भी
R dash R prime
डायलेट कर जाता है टर्मिनल फोर्सेस, क्योंकि आर वो डायलेट कर गया राइट वेंट्रिकल, तो टर्मिनल फोर्सेस होते हैं वो थोड़े वाइडन हो जाते हैं. इसलिए लीड 1 और एवीएल में यू गेट अ टिपिकल वाइडन्स द आर वेव इन 1 एंड एवीएल नो एवीआर, क्योंकि राइट साइड को जो लिम्ब लीड्स पिक कर रही है उसमें वाइडन हो जाएगा क्योंकि वॉल्यूम ओवरलोडेड है या V1 में.
Okay.
Okay, when Romila discusses ECG, all these points you should remember. चलो एक्सरे चलते हैं.
Chest X-ray sir, non-restrictive ASD with mild to moderate PS will get isolated ostium secundum defects like X-ray, and severe PS with the right to left interarterial shunt through PFO will get isolated severe pulmonary stenosis like X-ray. But here we'll get the lung fails are oligemic because the right arterial blood is shunted away from the lungs across the septal defect, and we'll get reduced RV output and pulmonary blood flow. Reduced RV output and pulmonary blood flow becomes even more apparent with the advent of right ventricular failure. Pulmonary trunk is dilated because of the jets from directly to the pulmonary trunk from the right pulmonary artery, and heart size is increased due to enlargement of RA and RP.
What is generally dilated? MPA is dilated and what? RPA or LPA?
LP is
norm. It is directed towards the left pulmonary artery. So generally the left pulmonary artery and the LPA segment is always dilated in valvular PS, which is much more common. So you have to differentiate valvular with subvalvular PS. Clinically, the presence of click, the presence of murmur in the second space would point towards a valvular PS.
valvular.
While a presence of murmur which is much lower down would point towards a non-valvular PS.
Subvalvular, yes.
Then the same thing has to be substantiated on X-ray. ECG में there may not be a significant difference between valvular and both are going to cause hypertrophy. But the main difference will come on X-ray. And X-ray, how will you differentiate whether it is valvular or it is a subvalvular PS? You complete your X-ray and then talk about it.
This 16, this first X-ray, this is of the ostium secundum type of ASD with left to right shunt, and the pulmonary stenotic wall with the 25 millimeter of mercury gradient, and this X-ray is showing the dilated pulmonary trunk with the increased cardiac shadow, and there is enlarged right atrium and right ventricle. Right ventricle making the forming the apex. That's all about this.
What about the second X-ray?
Here the cardiac shadow is much enlarged. The RA is.
This will be definitely valvular. No, this is a very prominent.
You explain the difference between two X-rays. That's it. What all is dilated and why? And by what criteria?
RA is more larger in this X-ray.
How do you see for RA enlargement in X-ray?
If it is more than 2.5 to 3 intercostal spaces.
You must know all the criteria of RA enlargement. No? There are more criteria. You must be aware of all the criteria. But can you tell in the first and the second X-ray which of them is valvular and why? There is a significant valvular PS in one X-ray as compared to not that evident. Yeah, MPA, only the MPA segment is dilated in the second X-ray.
Don't know.
देखो ना उसका pulmonary trunk second X-ray का कितना dilated है. It is huge. Generally, post-stenotic dilatations are a feature of valvular pulmonary stenosis. Which of them do you think is having a significant pulmonary stenosis? First X-ray or the second X-ray? And why?
Significant pulmonary stenosis.
Why? What is the evidence of significant pulmonary stenosis in either of the X-rays? तो नीचे लिखा हुआ है ना सब.
इसमें ज़्यादा
anyway, उसमें reason नहीं लिखा हुआ. Second X-ray is having severe pulmonary stenosis. Why? Why? 18 number X-ray is having severe pulmonary stenosis. Why?
क्योंकि पीटी ज्यादा इनलार्ज है सर और कार्डियक शेड्यूल ज्यादा.
वो तो पोस्ट स्टेनोटिक डायलेटेशन है, वो तो किसी भी पीएस में हो जाएगा. What is the evidence of severe pulmonary stenosis in second X-ray?
Lung fields, polygamy.
Always start with lung. There is a clear the lung fields are black. There you see endon vessels. Either the lung fields are totally black. There is only ischemic. So definitely the second lung field is a decreased flow situation. It is severe pulmonary stenosis. Look at the right atrial dilatation. Right atrial is significantly dilated. Look at the cardiomegaly which is there. Probably the dysfunction has started almost must have set in. No, there is a significant cardiomegaly in the second X-ray. RA is prominent, and also there is a decreased pulmonary blood flow. So definitely second X-ray is suggestive of severe valvular pulmonary stenosis. Valvular because there is a post-stenotic dilatation. अगर एलपी भी दिख जाता तो इट वुड हैव कंसोलिडेटेड इट. उसको देखने के लिए क्या लेटरल व्यू कर लोगे.
I think इसमें तो ऊपर तक भी everything is congested back pressure. SVC is also dilated.
Yeah, if you really point, so मेरा arrow नहीं चलेगा. But if you trace the arrow from RA to this, you can see the SVC is so prominent. Yeah, RA के बाद ऊपर you can trace it. No, if you can trace a shadow right up to the neck. ऊपर ले जाओ ऊपर ले जाओ ऊपर ले जाओ. For calling it a SVC, you should be able to go beyond the clavicles. Yeah.
Yes.
So definitely this particular area is wide. So this SVC is congested. There is full cardiomegaly which is there. Liver तो जहाँ तक दिख रहा है वो बड़ा दिख ही रहा है मतलब. But liver पे comment नहीं कर सकते. But RA is big. Cardiomegaly is there. SVC is really prominent. This patient is severe pulmonary PS with some amount of dysfunction which is set in.
Okay.
Next क्या है?
Echo findings will get similar to the isolated pulmonary stenosis in case of right PS with right to left shunt with PFO. Color imaging we can record the high velocity jet that will direct it towards the left pulmonary artery. And continuous wave Dopplers will tell us about the peak velocity and gradient. 2D imaging, via 2D imaging we can identify the PFO with its valve, and we can confirm the right to left shunt via color flow imaging. Non-restricted OSASD with mild to moderate PS will get similar echo findings like a isolated ASD of the same location and size, but here additionally we will get the coexisting pulmonary stenosis. Real-time imaging identify the mobile stenotic PV and via Doppler interrogation, we can establish the gradient as well. These are the echocardiography diagrams of the 28-year-old female with severe mobile pulmonary stenosis with right to left shunt with PFO. And is high velocity jet. This is the pulmonary trunk here. You'll see the jet.
तो दिख नहीं रहा ना, वो गलत लेबल्ड है.
Here the diagram B, that's continuous wave Doppler across the pulmonary wall. That's recording the 7 millimeter per second of velocity of the 7 millimeter per second meter per second, which indicates that that's gradient around the PS is around 190 mm. This is the Doppler interrogation from a 7-year-old girl with mobile pulmonary wall stenosis with left right shunt with Austin secondary type ASD. This subcostal view that's showing this pulmonary wall that is stenotic, and there is a right ventricle outflow that is normal, and pulmonary trunk seems to be dilated here. Continuous Doppler scan across the stenotic pulmonary wall, the peak velocity around 3.5. That indicates the gradient of around 46. That's also.
Okay, when do you call?
Yeah.
So when do you call? How do you grade severity of PS on the basis of gradient on echo?
Echo may it's sir if velocity less than 3 to 5 or ऐसे कुछ था sir. We'll get mild, moderate, severe and critical.
At least severe का तो पता होना चाहिए, because इसमें थोड़ा सा typically 64 peak gradient and peak velocity more than 4 meter per second. And what is critical PS?
Critical.
So either RV SP should be suprasystemic or transvalvular pressure gradient should be more than 80. But अब मुझे ये नहीं पता कि whether this definition holds true in the presence of shunt or not.
Presence of ASD.
In presence of
ASD will not make a difference.
अच्छा.
ASD will not make a difference. The gradient remains the same. जब भी एग्जाम में प्रेजेंट करोगे ना, उसमें यही होगा कि वन डॉक्टर साहब ASD है या ASD PS है, that we have discussed. Secondly, is it by your examination, is it severe PS or is it mild PS? Mild, moderate, severe PS. So how will you say by examination? Examination means whole your examination, ECG, X-ray. How will you say that this particular patient is having severe pulmonary stenosis and requires intervention? When will you say this patient is severe PS on clinical grounds?
So one the patient. अच्छा बता मंजीत बता.
नहीं सर मैं.
Okay, Mohit, चलो. Always when this question is asked, you have to start from symptoms.
Yeah.
And not just generalized symptom, it should be specific symptom. What are the specific symptoms of? What are the specific symptoms?
So symptoms of decrease LV inflow or decrease RV outflow like syncope, low cardiac pressure, symptoms of low cardiac output, symptoms of cyanosis, because cyanosis will be deeper in severe PS ASD.
Lightheadedness, cyanosis, giddiness. These are generally the can be considered typical symptoms, no, of
Yes,
right-sided features. Left-sided
Yes,
come
sir.
very very late. तो right-sided features severe PS में होगा कि यही giddiness होगा, बिल्कुल light head होगा या फिर blue होगा. यही 2-3 symptoms होंगे. Palpitations generally come very late. Okay, what else? Examination.
एग्जामिनेशन में पैरास्टनल हीव,
Okay.
प्रोमिनेंट
else?
एवियो, पैरास्टनल
So
हीव.
parasternal heave तो ASD में भी हो सकती है अगर ASD PAH हो गया तो.
वो क्वेश्चन ही बदल जाएगा. If you are getting a very good ejection systolic murmur,
Yeah.
very good ejection systolic murmur, वो क्वेश्चन चलो let's come to this question after this. When you will say that it's a PH not PS. Okay. But पहले ये complete करते हैं. So you are getting a good parasternal heave, you are getting or prominent airways. What else? Auscultation. You're getting a RVS3
If I'm getting a
or
RVS4, yeah.
S4
If
or S3. Okay. What
a
else?
late peaking high pitch ejection systolic murmur.
What characteristics of murmur will tell you that this is? What characteristics on auscultation will tell you it is severe PS?
So auscultation, the grade of murmur will be 3 or 4. Thrill can be associated.
P2
Then
will
there
be
will be
wide and
P2
wide,
soft.
wider slit and may become soft
Yeah.
as the PS intensity increases. Then come to murmur. Murmur में क्या हुआ?
Murmur के अंदर there will be a ejection systolic murmur of grade 3 or maybe grade 4 associated with a thrill, which is a late peaking high pitch ejection systolic murmur and associated with an ejection click.
Yeah, click generally signifies valvular component, not the severity.
Yes.
The severity is by the grade of the
Length
murmur
and peaking.
and peaking. So if there is a wide field with second soft hard sound which is masking this second aortic component, which is late peaking with a thrill, is a severe PS. Okay, this is a typical exam question. PS में आपको पूछा जाए, ASD का केस प्रेजेंट करोगे, उसमें PS पे डिस्कशन होगा, और is it pathological PS or is it severe PS? Does it need something needs to be done? Next question comes, ASD में पूछेंगे, has this ASD got into isomangarization? Is it PS, Dr. Sahab, or is it PH? You're getting a parasternal leave. So how will you define it is PS, not PH?
So when there would be a PR gram still murmur in PH situation. This murmur which will be getting across, it will not be a late peaking, it will be a flow murmur.
You can never have a very good late peaking ejection murmur with thrill in case of PH. PH में pulmonary artery pressures RV pressures के बराबर हो गए, तो आपको कभी भी इजेक्शन मर्मर, इजेक्शन होगी तो वेरी सॉफ्ट इजेक्शन मर्मर मिल जाएगी. अगर आपको कोई बहुत बड़ी मर्मर मिल रही है, it will be a holosystolic murmur of TR. It can never be a PH murmur. P2 would be loud and banging. यहाँ तो P2 सुनेगा ही नहीं, उसमें तो loud and banging P2 मिलेगा.
दूसरा TR का मर्मर और पैरास्टर्नल हीट तो सर दोनों में हो सकती है.
हाँ, वही तो, it will not, it can never be ejection murmur. अगर बहुत अच्छी मर्मर मिल रही है PH में, तो it can only be TR.
Yes sir.
It will be never murmur in the second space which is radiating.
फिर we will not get a usually ऐसे JVP की A wave more signifies RVH and
yeah,
due to
it can be there in PH also with, but ejection murmur will never be there. Okay. So these are the typical exam questions which will be there, of course.
Antegrade diastolic flow कुछ बोला था सर.
there will be a diastolic PR gram still murmur also na in PH.
Gram still early diastolic murmur मिलेगा. What happens because of the atrial kick, जो antegrade murmur मिलता है वो PH में मिल जाता है, but that is very difficult to appreciate, और वो बहुत soft होता है. It is never atria का जो murmur होता है, RV is constrictive. So जब atrial kick आती है, it gets transmitted to the pulmonary artery. So it creates a very short early systolic antegrade murmur. Is never grade 3 and is never even late peaking, छोड़ो mid peak भी नहीं करेगी, तो हल्की सी ऐसी होगी. जैसे इसकी तो बिल्कुल अच्छी सी, if it's a pathological murmur, it will have a very good peaking. You cannot miss that murmur in the second space. Okay. Anything else?
बस टॉप के साथ डिफरेंशिएशन तो वी विल डिस्कस ड्यूरिंग टॉप ओनली.
टॉप में करते हैं. टॉप एंड PS with index septum and PS with VSD में differentiation would come in टॉप. उधर इंपॉर्टेंस है ज्यादा.
या
ठीक है. और कल नेक्स्ट क्या है?
कल RSOV है सर.